I have been thinking recently about the government shutdown that recently took place in America. And given this shutdown, I began to think about how it has negatively impacted us economically and reputation-wise. According to Standard & Poor, we have lost, for those 16 days, we've lost $24 billion. And this is something that could have added to the economy. People were asked to go home. And on the international scene as well, other people were highly disappointed. As a matter of fact, the Chinese government were calling for the de-Americanization of the world. And given these, I just began to think about how do we find ourselves in this place? If America still remains the bastion of democracy in the world, and if we have a government of representation, representative democracy, even though people have been blaming, the right and the left have been blaming, we've been blaming one another. We can blame Barack Obama, we can blame Ted Cruz, we can blame Senator Marco Rubio. But it comes down to if these people are really representing us as a people, do we share part of this blame as well? Because to some extent, in any democratic settings or in any government of any nation, the government is a reflection of the people of the nation. So who are we as Americans? Because it's pretty easy to pass the blame onto others because we're not involved. But I was just thinking about how do we move together. It's not bad in and of itself to have these ideological differences. It's always going to be there. That's who we are. Diversity of opinion. We're not only diverse in America in terms of our skin color. We are diverse in terms of our opinions and just way of life, which is good. That's what makes us unique, exceptional. But how do we use this to our advantage as a people as well in such a way that we don't continually spring upon ourselves hardships that are just uncalled for? So now, how do we get compromise to function, to regain back its traditional meaning? Because right now, as it is, when you use compromise within the political setting, it definitely means to have sold out. And that's not what it is. So I think that's the number one thing that we really have to do as a people. How can we, in the midst of all these ideological differences, ideological opinions, in terms of either gay rights, abortion, even the food stamps, SNAP program, these are all ideological differences that we've divided along the democratic and the Republican values. But I want to believe that we all have the best of this country at heart. But how do we come together in such a way that we can walk and move this country forward and not begin to shut it down? And I think having that open mind to receiving the opinion and the views, perspective of other people will be the first step